how on earth did that workout build that muscle? Coach Greg, in today's video, I'm going over The Rock's uncut training footage of how he got in shape for WrestleMania. Now, in case you're wondering, the guy got up to 284 pounds, and he's very lean. He's got close to single-digit body fat, clearly under 15%, and The Rock is in his 50s. And so we're going to watch his workout and see, does it make sense that he could get his physique doing the current workout that he's doing? Does anyone think that The Rock's actually natural? Well, my personal opinion, he's blasting everything under the sun. I don't believe he's only on HRT. I don't think you can get a physique like that while training with just HRT, especially as his age. And as you watch the video, you're going to be thinking, how on earth did that workout build that muscle? And so my personal opinion is he's doing this for show. I don't think this is his actual workout. I think he probably did it just for the views to say, hey, this is what I'm training. Because as you watch this workout, I believe this is more in lines with a cardiovascular type of bikini girl type workout, something that you don't really want to put on muscle. You're just in there to burn calories and boost your metabolism and have some fun. Now, you can debate me. You can say, no, I'm just a hater. But as you watch this workout, think of it. He's about 6'5", 285 pounds of muscle, and I don't think he's natural. And if you think that this is the workout that he did to build up that amazing physique, well, what else are you going to believe? Okay, and so as you can see, it's leg day. He's got the short little booty shorts on. He's training the legs, and he's got the Ray-Ban knee sleeves on his lower legs. I'm thinking he's probably going to be doing a bunch of deadlifts. He's got those things to prevent the bar from scraping on his legs. But I've already watched the video twice, and I can tell you it's there for nothing. I thought maybe he's going to pull them up for his heavy squats that he's going to do, but he did nothing of the sorts. And so let us watch his workout. So what he's doing is giant sets. He does one set followed by another and another and another. He continues from one exercise to the other with very little rest, and he's going to do 3 total sets. And so set number 1, he's got 2 plates on each side. Notice the weights are already preset for him throughout this workout. And obviously it's The Rock. He has the ability to use the entire gymnasium. And so if you are in fact going to copy this workout, it may in fact be very difficult. The gym might be occupied. You're probably not going to have this weight set up for you. And so first exercise is basically looks like he's riding a bike. He's pedaling back and forth with 2 plates on each side. And to me, this makes sense. He's trying to go very light to warm up the muscles. And so he's using a very light weight for that reason. He's now doing 2 legs at the same time, perhaps just do one leg at a time, get a good hamstring stretch. And if you notice, his feet are placed very high on the platform. His toes are actually past the top. He's doing this to focus more on the hamstrings and glutes. So if you're trying to focus more on the hamstrings and glutes, you're going to place your feet a lot higher. If you're trying to get more of a quad workout, you're going to place your feet a little bit lower. And so nothing wrong with this set 1. And so as you can see, he's breathing a little bit higher as he slowly walks to the next exercise. I would suggest it's a bit faster. Remember, it's a giant set. You don't need tremendous amount of rest between sets. And so already he has the weight set up, 2 plates on each side. Very lightweight for someone like The Rock. For me, 5 plates on each side. That's about a weight that's comfortable for me. But remember, he's just warming up. He's just getting into it. And so I see nothing wrong with that. Perhaps there was 20, 30 seconds rest. And here the set goes. He's not going all the way down. Perhaps he doesn't have the flexibility, the range of motion. He's going through the motions. And he's going at a very good tempo. Notice he's not dropping the weight too quickly. He's going a bit faster on the way up. And so he's going slow on the eccentric, a bit faster on the concentric. But look at the grimace in his face. Does it really look that difficult? Notice the teeth grinding. It's as if he's making the exercise appear more difficult than it really is. Because let's face it, this is the second warm-up set of the day. This is very, very easy. 284 pounds, arguably not natural, and doing 2 plates on each side of each of these exercises, not very difficult. Up next, one of my favorite exercises, especially if you don't want to have load on your back, it's a lot easier for people to do. This is a belt squat. Great exercise. He has, again, 2 plates on each side. And so what I thought is this is his first go through. He's just wanting to get a very good warm up. He's in his 50s. He doesn't want to push himself, but look at the grimaces on his face. Notice how hard he seems to be pushing. This is 2 plates on each side. A man of The Rock's stature, size, and strength, I would believe that this would be a cakewalk. Many bikini competitors could lift this much weight. And I'm not trying to strength shame him here, But he does make it seem like it's more difficult. Notice the facial expressions. Do you really think that this was difficult? Jeff Nippard, Mike Isertel perhaps will tell you to train with an RIR, reps in reserve of 3 reps. Do you really think that that was within 3 reps of failure? Well, obviously not, and it doesn't have to be. It's a warm-up set. But based on those facial expressions, it appears that it's a lot harder than it actually is. Raise your hand out there if you think that this is a challenging workout for The Rock. Now remember, The Rock is not a 23-year-old bikini competitor, and I do believe that with 284 pounds of muscle, he could handle this with ease. And now comes off the pump cover. Perhaps The Rock has a little bit of body dysmorphia. He's being filmed. He doesn't want to come in without at least a bit of a pump. And so he's removing the shirt to reveal the final boss. The Rock, we all know he is the final boss. Close to 400 million followers, 284 pounds. This guy has an incredible physique. And there is no weak muscle group. You're thinking, oh, his legs are small. I've seen people say that in the past. These are not small legs. This guy is an animal, a tank. Exercise 4. Now remember, this is a giant set. No rest is supposed to happen between all of these. And so he's taking a rest to a minimum. 2 plates again on each side. How many of you out there have tried this exercise? I've done it with 8 plates on each side. The Rock has 2 on each side. Now, I'm not trying to say The Rock should be able to outlift Coach Greg, even though I'm certain that he can. But does it look difficult? Now, he has great range of motion. His form is on point. I'm not being critical of any of that. You can see the striations on the side of the leg. That is indicating of just how lean he is. He looks very good. Camera work doing an amazing job, but he's not getting very many reps. Notice how quickly he stopped. Do you not think he could have gotten 10 reps more? And so although it's a giant set of several different exercises, is it really that beneficial? Would he not benefit more from just doing perhaps 1 exercise or even maybe 3 in total, rather than going through the motions in a bunch of exercises? And so what I see is junk volume. It's a lot of exercise that are not doing a lot. And up next, exercise 5, dumbbell walking lunges with 30-pound dumbbells. And he's doing partial range of motion. Now, I understand this. My hips, they hurt. Sometimes it's difficult. But 30 pounds with the man the size of The Rock, it looks like the dumbbells are just like twigs in his hands. Is this really doing anything difficult for him? Why not just ride a bicycle? I mean, if this is in fact his warm-up, could he not have just gone on a bicycle and pedaled for 5 or 10 minutes? I certainly think that when I'm riding on a bike, I'm getting a better warm-up than he's doing with these exercises. Now you're thinking, principle of specificity. He's warming up with the specific exercises that he's going to do throughout his workout. Yes, I agree with that. That makes total sense. But you can still start off with a 5 or 10 warm-up to get your heart rate going, get some sweat going, and then get into this. And notice the grimaces. Look at his face as he's walking forward. The intensity. He had to rest. He's very exhausted. I mean, look at the triceps on this guy. Look at the muscle. Guy is shredded. Look at the physique of The Rock. It's just comical to me to see him using 30-pound dumbbells and so on. Remember, I'd say to not ego lift in the gym. Now, here's the thing, and spoiler alert, he's not progressing up in weight. I was thinking, well, this is his first go-through. He's going to use very light weights. He's just warming up. He's perhaps then going to use 3 plates on each side, and then use 4 plates on each side, and then pyramid up throughout the workout. I thought that makes sense. This is a great workout. But he's going to do the same thing over and over again. And so notice he stopped midway through that exercise. Exercise number 5, he had to stop. So warm up. Are we really needing to stop?
That's step 1. And that just kicked my
cookbook. And so that's set 1, and it just kicked his ass. Now, here's the thing. The Rock, in my opinion, maybe I've got him put on a pedestal, but he is a specimen of a man, an elite level athlete. A man with an incredible physique, not just physically, but cardiovascular as well. I've seen him, I follow him, I know that he does cardio. He's been in a 12-week training camp for the WWE for WrestleMania. And so if you're going to try to convince me, Rock, that this was difficult for you, that this kicked your ass, your cookbook ass, I don't believe it. Rock, have you seen Coach Greg work out? On my day off, hungover, I train harder than this. I'm not trying to pull any punches. I'm just giving you my honest opinion. I believe that you're lying when you say that this kicked your ass. There is no way that this was difficult for you. I'm not saying that this wouldn't be difficult for the average 53-year-old, or that if you can't do this, that you're somehow lesser. But The Rock can go much harder than this. If The Rock were progressive overloading and trained for 12 weeks doing this to get this physique, do you not think he would be better at it? Do you really think that those quads, thighs, hamstrings, that body was built doing sets with 2 plates on each side, doing a giant set with little rest, and that is how hard he needed to push himself to get those results? And perhaps you're thinking, well, maybe it's possible. Maybe if you take enough PDs, you don't have to actually push yourself, that you can get away with training less hard than ever before. Well, it's true to an extent, but to progressive overload and continue to get better in your 50s, you can't just take more and more PDs. You need to actually push yourself. And so I don't believe that this was enough. And so just so you know, so that I'm not making this shit up, we're going to watch him on his second workout. Now, remember, it's not that there's anything wrong with this workout. It's just that to build that physique, you can't just copy The Rock. This is not training harder than last time. This is not progressive overload. And so if you're watching this to say, hey, The Rock trains like that, no wonder he has his physique. You don't get a physique like that from training in this way. And you're thinking, yeah, but this is training specifically for the WWE. He has to run around, he has to jump up and down. Does this look like it was difficult? I mean, would it not have been an even better workout to, for example, go for a jog, go for a bike ride, a hike in the woods? I do believe it would be just as difficult for him to, for example, sat on a bike and ridden up a hill. What do you think is harder? Riding up a mountain on a bicycle or doing what he just did?
I believe I got one more in me.
He believes he has one more set in himself, one more giant set. He can dig deep and really push himself with the exact same weight and do the exact same workout. He can do it again. He's a grinder. He gets up at 4:30 in the morning. Remember, The Rock is the hardest worker in the room and he eats 6,000 calories a day. He does this, and so The Rock, I believe in him. I think he can do, again, this bikini girl workout, and of which I'm not trying to insult the bikini competitors. I do believe that most of you train much harder than this. I'm just saying, I believe that most bikini competitors train harder than this. Now, I can't play all the music and get demonetized, but his playlist is fire. The Rock's got some great songs. He's even got on Travis Scott. Perhaps he likes it raw when faded. I don't know, but he's got some great music. He's pumped up, amped up in the gym. But I don't see the effort. And perhaps he's just drinking Zoa energy drinks and he doesn't get enough energy from this. And perhaps it's because he's only consuming Zoa energy drinks. Maybe he needs to up the ante, take some hardcore stim pre-workout 2.0, harder and stronger than last time. Or maybe his cardio is failing him because he's not using GO2 max. This could dramatically improve his cardio, perhaps improve his stamina. He could push heavier weights. And if he wanted to stay natural and improve his performance, he could, of course, use Turk Builder or Acti Builder. These have been shown to build muscle. I use all these supplements myself, and so if you're interested in these, code Greg, 15% off. Look at the size of The Rock during this 2-minute rest. The size of the arms, it's incredible. And so if he didn't want to get a stim, perhaps he's training later at night, he could of course be using pre-pump, and if he doesn't, and if it's earlier in the day, we also have pre-workout 3.0. There's so many different things to choose from. And so he says he's taking a 2-minute, perhaps only 90-second break between these giant sets. And I don't know about you, does it look like he's actually forcing himself to breathe hard? Does he look like he's very tired during these sets? When I'm on my warm-up, when I'm warming up for a bike race during my warm-up, I'm breathing much harder than this. And after I've done a set up a hill, if you've perhaps ever watched Coach Greg in a bike race, you'll see just how hard I'm pushing myself. But remember, I'm about 5 years younger than The Rock, and I admittedly am on HRT. Look at The Rock's physique in comparison to Greg. Now, I'm not saying I have the genetics of The Rock, but how many of you out there believe that The Rock looks like this natural in his 50s, that he's just drinking Zoa energy drinks, then that all he has to do is a couple of giant sets with 2 plates on each side throughout the exercises? And remember, this is live. He can't fake this. You can't fake effort. Well, you can. The Rock is doing it right here. He's grimacing. It looks like he's pushing himself really hard when he actually isn't. And so perhaps he's just pretending to give a workout for people to copy. Say, hey, why not just try this workout at home? It worked for The Rock. You can just copy this. But the truth is, copying this workout is not going to give you The Rock's build, and I do believe that you need to push yourself a little bit harder than this, unless you're a beginner, to get the gains that you're looking for. And so he's shaking out the legs. He's still got those Ray-Ban knee sleeves on where he's wearing them on his shins. Remember, he's not going to do deadlifts. They're not protecting his shins in any way. Perhaps he doesn't like the size of his calves. He's trying to hide them in some way. Perhaps he likes to sweat more. But there's absolutely no purpose to have them on his shins if he's not going to wear them on his knees, if he's not doing deadlifts. And so the time's up. Here comes set number 2, going back to the bicycle press, we're going to call it, 1 leg at a time, 2 plates on each side. Notice he didn't progressive overload. He didn't go up to 3 plates on each side. And he's going to repeat the same exercise as he did last time. Imagine how easy this is for The Rock. This is no effort for The Rock, but yet look at his face. Is he already experiencing pain? He's just started a giant set of 5 exercises, and it appears that he's grimacing. It should be very easy at the start, and it should get harder as you go. And as he puts both feet together on the leg press, lifting them at the same time, remember, he's only done, 10 or 15 reps? Does anyone think it's already starting to fatigue him, that he's already getting tired with 2 plates on each side? I guarantee if The Rock had to, he could do this exercise for 5 minutes. 2 plates on each side, leg press, 5 minutes, go Rock. I believe he would have no difficulty in doing this, but yet he's just started the exercise. He's 30 seconds in, and he's already beginning to fatigue. And there it is, grunts through that final rep, of which he had an RIR of approximately 40. And walking over, he's just repeating the giant set, the same exact weights. He's taking a sip of water, and he's going to lay down and press up again, doing the exact same thing. Remember, it's easy for him. This is what I would consider a warm-up. So if he had said, I'm going to do 2 giant sets of this, make sure I get a great warm-up, and then I'm going to start my leg workout, I said, oh, that's really good. The Rock is promoting getting a warm-up in, making sure he's not injured. He's trying to increase his flexibility by going through these exercises. I'd say that's amazing. Then I would have expected him to do some squats, some leg press from hack presses, doing something to challenge his physique. Did that look anywhere near an RIR of 3? Did that look like he actually pushed himself to do that? Now, obviously, it's better than nothing. If he's just like, hey, I'm in my 50s, I don't want to give up working out, I'm just doing this for fun, my joints are aching, it's a deload day. But as the close-up appears in his leg, look at what he has. The striations, the quads, the muscle, the pump. It's redonkulous. I just don't believe that you could develop a physique like this in training in this fashion. Imagine if all you had to do was do this. I'm going to do a couple of giant sets, no effort whatsoever. I'm going to look like The Rock. How hard is that? How many people could not do this? What would you say is more difficult, doing this workout or going for a 1-hour walk? I'm going to say going for a 1-hour walk, way harder than this. And so imagine if doing something this easy for 20 minutes could develop a physique like The Rock. That's not hard rock. No. Faking effort. So remember, The Rock is in fact a gifted actor. He's been in how many movies? Blockbuster movies. He's an actor. And so he doesn't actually have to be suffering to make it look like he's suffering. He's digging deep. He's pushing past the pain. He's the hardest worker in the room. But what I see is a guy pretending to put in effort.
Lightweight. Lightweight.
Lightweight, baby. Hey.
What's up, TJ?
How are you, brother?
I'm doing good. How are you? Getting a workout in?
I'm trying. Get my ass kicked.
And so he's getting a workout in. He's getting his ass kicked. Lightweight, baby. Ain't nothing but a peanut. In comparison, however, did you see the amount of weight that Ronnie Coleman was lifting? Now, I'm not saying he should be as strong as Ronnie Coleman, even though he almost weighs the same. But we not expect him to lift maybe a half or even a quarter of what Ronnie Coleman could lift? I mean, he's a monster of a man, clearly capable, but yet he's using 30-pound dumbbells for walking lunges. He's not pushing himself, and he's saying, hey, this is my workout. And obviously, working out is better than nothing. But when you pretend that this is what you're doing, this is where I think it's going too far.
Spirit of Ronnie Coleman, baby. Yeah, buddy.
And so here it is. In the spirit of Ronnie Coleman, he's about to grab the 30-pound dumbbells for walking lunges. All right. All right, let's go. Look at the arms. Notice he's only going halfway down. And perhaps following this, he'll do a hot yoga workout to work on his lats and pecs and shoulders and arms. Now remember, I do hot yoga. I'm not saying it's not good for you, but it's certainly not going to build tremendous looking physique. And so if I said, hey everyone, look at my hot yoga workout and look at my physique, I'm 284 pounds, you might be thinking, is he suggesting that that's what he did to build that muscle? And it's so difficult that he has to pause during the walk-in lunges. Notice he can't get through the entire reps. He has to stop. He's grimacing. He's grunting. He's pushing harder than last time. This workout is really kicking his ass. And The Rock, I mean, he's just an animal. There's no quitting this guy. He's got one more in him. He's done 2 giant sets, planned to do 2. He's like, no, I'm not done. I've been training for 11 minutes. I got one more in me. I'm going to dig deep. I'm going to rest 90 seconds, 2 minutes. I'm going to try one more time.
I got one more in me. I got one more in me.
I mean, the intensity, the level of dedication that's required to go through 3 giant sets that are warm-up plates with 30-pound dumbbells in the end. I mean, no wonder he looks like The Rock.
Usually giant sets like this, we'll do 2 sets. But every once in a while, like those championship rounds, get one more. You got one more.
Normally he only does 2 giant sets, but with the camera rolling and every once in a while, he's going to give it a 3rd. It's those championship rounds. And so like on the pay-per-view on the weekend, UFC 300, they're lasting 5 rounds. And in the final round, they're knocking each other out with 1 second to go. They're digging deep. I mean, imagine how hard these guys are training. Imagine. I think maybe on a good day, perhaps the top UFC superstars in the world maybe could go through this workout. Maybe. Probably not the 3rd set, maybe some of them, but the 3rd superset, maybe the most gifted athletes in the world possibly could go through 3 rounds of this. The Rock, he's a different breed, and so he's doing the 3rd round, and spoiler alert, he's even going to add a bonus exercise at the end of this round. Wait till you see what it is.
I got one more.
And so it reminds me of when I'm in a bike race with perhaps 300 riders, and there's perhaps 5 mountains we're climbing, and I'm on the 3rd mountain, and I'm thinking, one more mountain. Can I do one more? Can I keep up? Can I hang on for one more mountain? And I'm trying my best, and they're 3 seconds ahead, and I say, can I hang on? Because if I can catch them on the downhill. It's a bit of a reprieve. And so The Rock, he gets this. And so imagine if The Rock were a bike racer. Imagine he'd probably be in the Tour de France with this level of commitment and dedication. He's going to give it his all. And so he's spitting in the garbage. Perhaps he has problems. The lactic acid is building up. Perhaps he doesn't know about beta-alanine. If he was taking that, certainly he would go through 5 sets of this, I think, with no problem. Interested in beta-alanine or any of my supplements, remember, code Greg, 15% off. And here he is, the man, the myth, the GOAT, the legend, walking back for the 3rd and final round. Will he be able to complete it? Will he be able to do it? 1 more minute. Can he recover in time? The time is on the wall. Will he be able to do it? The final boss, the final round, The Rock versus giant set number 3.
Super disciplined with my rest time. If it's 2 minutes, then it's
Cooked.
2 minutes.
Remember, he does not cheat on rest time. If it's 2 minutes, it's cookbook 2 minutes.
I don't like to talk when I train. I try to be disciplined with my time. Then every once in a while I go, let me stretch it out a little longer, 3 minutes. Nobody's going to know.
But admittedly, he says, hey, sometimes I stretch a little bit extra. I'll stretch that rest time from 2 minutes to 3. No one's going to know. But hey, today we're filming. He's being vulnerable. He's saying, you know, sometimes I take that extra minute of rest. I, too, am human. I am not perfect. I rest 1 extra minute when I need to.
Then you yourself. Then you know.
But he says, I'm kidding. I didn't mean that. I would never take that extra rest because you would know that you're cheating yourself. This is where we separate the men from the boys. In round 3, the place where hardly anyone can go, how anyone can take themselves to this level of dedication and suffering. And so I am about to do this. I'm not going to add that extra minute of rest. So are you ready for it?
Let's go early. Here we go.
And so cookbook it. Let's go in early. Raw and faded, we're going in early. Travis Scott playing in the background. And so let's see The Rock accomplish round number 3. All right. I'm confident he can get through the bicycle leg press as it's the first exercise in this giant set number 3. He's slapping the legs, getting them amped up, about to go through that pain. I know what that's like. Sometimes you have to motivate yourself. What I do is I look over at the sign in my room. I made a sign that says harder than last time, and I know it's about to go down. I know I'm going to dig deep. I go where I've never pushed myself. How hard did I go last time? It's not enough. Harder than last time. The Rock is about to do it. And so here we have him doing the 2 plates on each side leg press, bicycle leg press, after only resting approximately 90 seconds. Don't know how he can step on here. He's not even wearing the knee sleeves. He's this confident with his abilities. Look at the muscle on the Rock, the focus, the dedication, the discipline, the willpower. And so the Rock, he's got a fly playlist. Is that what the kids are calling it now? Probably not. And so here we go again with the belt squats, a great exercise. The focus, oh, the effort. He gets through it. He does it. Most men would have succumbed to the temptation to just give up. They would have thrown in the towel, said, I don't need to do this, but not the Rock. He's going to continue. And for all the boys, we have the camera angle specifically focused on that derriere. Who doesn't want to see the Rock's derriere? Let's follow the Rock. Zoom in on those glutes. Final exercise, the 30-pound walking lunges. And remember, he's going to, in fact, show us a bonus round. I do want you to see. Stick around for that. Remember, it doesn't count if you drop the weights. You have to start over. He cannot drop the weights. I would, in fact, encourage you to use wrist straps. If your grip is the reason why you have to stop an exercise early, I would encourage you to use wrist straps. It's worth it. Don't think that there's something wrong with that. You want the muscle that you're working, if it's in fact your back or your quads, you want that to be fatigued. You don't want it to be the grip that's preventing you from going harder than last time. And so he's already pausing. He's done a few reps. He's stopping. Remember, he's almost done now. If I were him, I just want to get it over with, but he's stopping. He's regaining his focus, his concentration. He's going to take a few more lunges.
Rule is, if you put the weights down, you got to
cookbooks.
Start over.
And so in case some of you are upset by the language, remember we're bleeping this out. We say cookbook here on this channel. We try not to curse. The reason for that, it's biological. It actually decreases the pain that you're experiencing in your body. They've done experiments. For example, you put your hands in ice water. You see how long can you keep your hand under that cold water. When you curse or swear, it reduces the pain sensations that you're going to experience. And so if you're pushing yourself really hard, you're perhaps in a bike race and you're sprinting up that final hill, you may not even have to curse out loud. You're cursing your head. You're swearing. You're saying everything inappropriate. It's allowing you to push that much harder. And so try it next time. Perhaps you have one more rep in the tank. You're thinking, no, mother cookbook, I own you. Whose cookbook is this? Whose cookbook is this? You know it's mine. And so you take what's yours. You do it. You get that final rep. And so don't judge The Rock for saying the F-bomb a couple of times. I'm certainly thinking it's just to push himself beyond somewhere he's never gone before. If you curse and swear, it can take you to that next level beyond that pain barrier. And that is what The Rock needs to get this impressive physique. No. Spits to the wall, not putting these weights down. He will not give up. Now, oftentimes in this exercise, if the dumbbells are heavy, you're not going to be able to curl them as you're doing it. The arm's going to be straight. But where it's only 30 pounds, he doesn't really have to worry about this. He's not done yet. He's dropping the 30s. No, he's not done. He keeps going. This is beyond failure. Failure and beyond. He's like, I'm not done. This is giant set number 3. And so he has the arms crossed in front of him. He's walking an additional several steps here, perhaps 5 steps on each leg. And is he done now with the large spit on the floor? Another large spit on the floor? No. He's continuing on. He's going to do 5 more steps. A spit here, a spit there, a couple curse words, and you've got 5 more reps in the tank. Again, another break. Is he done yet? Is it all for The Rock? Is this all that he could put into this workout? And they zoom in on his face. What is The Rock going to say? What will he do? He picks up the 30s. He's picked them up. He's continuing to walk with the 30s. Maybe he's just putting the weights away. Is he just cleaning up? Now remember, I'm poking fun at The Rock a lot. The sarcasm is strong. But if you're using 30-pound dumbbells for this or weaker, for example, many of you bikini competitors, perhaps you're only using the 30s, don't feel bad about yourself. The Rock is 284 pounds, and he's probably not natural. And so if you're only using 5-pound dumbbells or 10-pound dumbbells, or if you're just doing any exercise at all, I support that. I'm not trying to make this video to make fun of everyone who exercises who isn't perhaps as strong as Coach Greg. It's not about that. It's about calling out The Rock for making it look like this is a hard workout when for him this is a piece of cake. He could do this 10 times over. He could do 30 giant sets of this all day long, and I believe he would have no trouble doing this. This is not how he built up those quads, his legs, the muscles of his body. I also do not believe that The Rock is natural. I do not believe that he's only on HRT. I believe he's taking more than this. The Rock at his size right now, it's bigger than he was in his 30s. Normally, unless of course you're Mike O'Hearn, you don't get more muscle into your 50s than you do when you're in your 30s.
A little light stretch out for the hamstring.
And so he says, it's stretching out the hamstrings, going to finish off the hamstrings in this workout after all those giant sets. But however, those giant sets were in fact definitely working hamstrings, but he wanted to do that exercise. There's nothing wrong with that.
Those giant sets, everything's on fire.
And so he's saying everything is on fire. I don't doubt that. But remember, to build muscle, you have to do something that you haven't done. You have to progressive overload. I say train harder than last time. I don't believe that The Rock is training harder now than he was. And so to get bigger muscles, you actually have to push yourself a little bit harder. I think he's going a lot easier. I think that there's other days where he does perhaps squats or deadlifts or something where he's actually pushing himself harder than this. And that is how he built his physique.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby. Nothing but a peanut.
Go early.
He's going in early. He doesn't care if it's moist or not. He's going in early. Remember, some people like it raw when faded. Travis Scott. And so remember, he doesn't always train this hard. This was a final boss set, the third giant set with a bonus round. So typically he trains a lot easier than this. He would only do 2 sets, which lasts approximately 11 minutes. So if you're trying to copy The Rock workout at home, remember, probably can't do it. If you're not on HRT, you're not taking PDs, you don't have this kind of genetics, remember, you probably can't train this hard. I'm being sarcastic. Hurry up and finish, Rock. Rock, hurry up and finish. How many of you have heard that before? Ladies, don't ever say that. One thing you can't deny, he's getting a good sweat and he's burning some calories. This is definitely, I think, a great warm-up. I think he's warmed up and primed to go. I think he's now set. If he was to say, I'm going to now go and do squats with 2 plates, 3 plates, and so on, I think he'd be perfectly set for it.
I went into this so tired.
Perhaps I went a little bit hard on him. He says he went into this fatigue, so maybe he was tired. This is perhaps a deload day for him. It's easy, but he was making it look like, hey, I'm going to go really hard. If he says, if you go and push yourself, even if you're tired, listen to your body, but if you do it and you go through it and you come out positive on the other side, it's going to make you feel good. And I wholeheartedly agree with him. These are great messages. I think that it's smart and intelligent to push yourself when in fact you can push yourself. I don't think he dug so deep that it's going to somehow diminish his gains, his potential. He says, tomorrow's cheat day, can't wait for it. Remember what I've said? I think every day you should be able to eat the foods that you want, in moderation, of course. And I think the take-home message I'm trying to create is this is a great workout for most people. For someone like The Rock, however, 284 pounds of muscle, this is an easy workout for him. This is not pushing himself beyond failure. This is not going to really challenge him. I don't think that, as Sam Sulik has said, that this is a near-death experience during this workout. I think he's just going through the motions. And if this is all you do and this is your level of effort, it's still better than the majority of people. And so even if this is the level of effort you're doing, I still congratulate you for pushing yourself more than most people. Even this workout, it's still harder than most people train. And so just going through the motions, it's better than most. If you could then pick up and go harder than last time, for example, if The Rock added a 5-pound weight on each of those exercises, it would be progressive overload. Eventually he'd be at 3 plates, 4 plates, and he would be getting a great and challenging workout. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm, like the video if you like it. Please watch one of those boops. Don't forget about the cookbooks, the training books, the Circle Diet book. You can get all on my website, hard copy and PDF. Also the supplements, the Harder Than Last Time clothing line, code Greg, 15% off. And we're having the 50% off creatine sale. Remember, the most scientifically supported of all the supplements. I don't think it's the best supplement in the world, but many people feel that it is. And so it's 50% off. Head over to my website. And until next time, I am out.